Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Name, hosted by Connor, Shay. We've got Ricky back and Mathieu Cozza.
Good accent, that mate.
Oh, good.
Good accent.
Yeah, good introduction. Yeah. So I'm pretty pleased with myself on that one. So thank you for joining us today, mate. You've come on the show and hopefully we're quite local for you today. Probably one of our most local guests in locality of places. Do you live in Huddersfield? No.
Halifax.
Oh, yeah, not too far, not too far. Still in the hills.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for joining us today, mate. Hopefully we're going to get a good insight on, obviously, your career and everything sort of in and around what's going on and how you know this fella as well.
Yeah. So thanks for having me. I'm French, as you know. I'm born in the countryside of Bordeaux, and my mum and dad are massive rugby league fans, so they put me into the game like pretty much every kids. Catalans came up in 2006, so I was 6 years old, and my mum and dad took me to every home game, so it was like 2 games per month. And as a 6 years old, I just told them we need to move because I can't be asked to.
I was just going to say, what's the Bordeaux? Is that not north? Is that
no,
further north?
it's down south.
That's not good from there, is it?
So you got Spain, and it's just like 20 minutes away from Spain.
Yeah.
But Bordeaux is more down left-hand side of France. So
I always feel you're crossing it as you're coming into.
So it was a 4 hours trip. So like 8 hours during the day. But most of the time we stayed over.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I just told them we need to move, and they moved.
Do they still listen to you now?
Yeah. I'm the only child, so they're listening.
The golden child.
Yeah. Exactly. And then when we moved, my mum got that police job, and my dad got that job with Catalans as a kid man because he used to play. I'm not sure if it was with or against the owner of Catalans. And then I went through the system, and as my dad was working to Catalans, he knew Ricky from there.
Right.
And then Ricky knows me from kid, pretty much.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking then when you mentioned that and you were saying you were travelling, but I was thinking, I'm pretty sure, I knew Bordeaux wasn't really close to Perpignan, but you mentioned there obviously about your dad played. Can you tell us a little bit about that? You know, how much was it a case of, was he done before sort of you came around or?
So he got me when he was 41, so his career was done when I arrived. So he just put me into rugby, so I never saw him play but he was always around. So he was it's not owner, it's called president in France.
Yeah.
So you don't own the club, but you run it.
Yeah.
So he was running that club, my hometown club, where I did my first few games as a kid, and then after that we moved to Perpignan, and he just was kit man, and he's still around PR. It's called PR Donkeys. It's a club in France. They play in French league, and he's around this club now.
And this is rugby league as well. So did you just start from a young age? It wasn't you played rugby and then rugby league after. Did you just straight into rugby league?
Oh no! To be fair, I did my first year in Union, because in my hometown club they had like a first team, but not the kids team. So they put me in Union because we didn't have anything apart from Union. And then we did that year. I did that year in Union, and then next year we built I don't know if it's academy or scholarship into that hometown club. And I did 4 years, 3 to 6, and then I moved to Perpignan, and I just went to Calden system straight away.
Right. So it was literally a case of you just going straight in the system. And how long were you in the system for before you were sort of like training with the first team? And
so in France, I think you got local club. In France, you got local club too, but one of the local club is called pretty much Tres Catalans, and it's like related to Catalans.
Yep.
So all the kids wants to go there because
they're like a feeder team too.
It's not really the feeder team, but they've got the logo, Catalans logo, and so all the kids wants to play for them. Yeah. And they're related with Catalans because I think the president or the owner of the team is related to Catalans as well.
Right.
So historically, just a bit of a history lesson, Catalans merged, or Tres Catalans merged with Saint Esteve.
Right.
to form Catalans Dragons. So that's why on the badge they've got Tres Catalan and Centre Steph. So Bernard brought them both together.
Because there was the two biggest club in
Yeah.
your area,
area.
so they
Merged together.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder. I'm sure probably about 30 years ago, I'm sure there were teams like, this is Super League teams, but like Cass, Wakey. Really, when you look at that on paper, if they'd merged together, which would never happen because of just the history of the three clubs, but they're all under the same postcode area.
Yeah.
They would have all merged. I think there would be a much better team. I don't know what they'd call themselves. It'd probably end up in Wakefield something, but makes you wonder, like, none of them three have been able to kind of hit the heights of all the other teams, but there's something to be said, I think, for merging clubs, and I wouldn't be shocked if at some point some of these championship clubs start doing some kind of merge. I don't know what you boys think to that, but
For me, I think everyone is like a pyramid in France now. Everyone seems to... There's Catalans and Toulouse at the top of that pyramid, and everyone seems to feed into that now. So it's not a case of, I'm a peer player or whatever else. Everyone's trying to pull together, try and get to that elite level.
do you know when you were saying then about everyone wanted to play for that club because they were associated with Catalan?
Yeah.
When they're younger, because some of our amateur teams go over there and play against the French, and I'm pretty sure it could be them, because then they end up going to will it be them then that they play? Yeah, it's like Kipax, who are a local team. I only know because there were a few kids from the school that were going, and they were travelling over, playing the games against the teams, but I think they ended up playing like kids from like 2 years above them, so they might be like 11-year-old, but they were playing 13-year-olds, but they were big boys, and obviously the ground I think was rock hard as well, middle of summer. But yeah, I wondered if it was something like that. But it's good that there's some form of system there, isn't there? That there's a route for players to be able to get there. It's just a case of, is it, when you look at France overall, obviously the size of the country, where is rugby league played? Like, is it literally in small parts of it? Similar to here, I suppose, but
Yeah, it's a south thing. So if you got Avignon and Villeneuve, and during these two towns, you got like 4 hours trip, and all these clubs are between these two towns. You might have like Paris, one club, but they're not really playing against. They're just playing. I don't know what they do. They have a club, but I don't know against who they're playing because no one wants to travel. So pretty much all the clubs are between these two towns. And yeah, when you grow up, you just play well. If you play well, Catalans will get you to the system, and then if you're good enough, you will get the first team contract and then your first team debut.
So you obviously, going right back to the very beginning then, you were just playing, you've ended up going to watch the games, you've then moved over there.
Yeah.
Did you already were you thinking at a very young age, I just want to be a rugby player? Is that what you were thinking?
I told my mum and dad, I said, we need to move there so I can play for Catalans. Because you're a kid, when you're young, you just say things you think, but you don't know what it means. But I tell that as a kid. So my mum and dad say, all right, sweet, we'll do it.
Well, it's funny that, that is some belief. Your parents must have believed you of some kind. It probably helped that they really liked rugby. But it was like when Ronan Michael came on, and he was saying that he was walking around Ireland, he worked in McDonald's, but he were telling him he were going to be a rugby player. Yeah. And it was like, there obviously has to be a mindset belief of, I think it's almost like naivety probably helps in that sense, like whether it's when you're younger and, some people are sort of pushed out of it early on, but if you've got that belief, then it says a lot, doesn't it, if you're able to go and do it. But yeah, we're just interested obviously on that route into Catalan. You're part of that system. At what point did you then, and who were some of the players that when you joined the first team and you're training with them full time, who were the players that were there at that point in time?
So I started in 2020, just after COVID.
How old would you have been then?
I was 19 or 20, so in 2000. I'd start just after COVID, so that was quite hard. And then the year after, I think it was 2021, that's the year I made my debut, and that's the year they did the first grand final. So they had Jimmy Maloney, Sam Tompkins, who else? Mickey Mack. They got all those big.
Sam Muller.
Yeah.
Like
I think he stopped on the year before.
There were Dudson as well. Was he there?
Gil Dodson. They are the stacked team.
Yeah.
And then when we did the League Leaders Shield, I think.
That was right. Yeah,
that was
it was
year.
the Cassiano job, that one.
Cassiano.
We was on about it, the Magic Weekend game that year. I'm sure it was that year when they were losing quite heavily.
Oh, when Jimmy kicked the...
Yeah.
I was in not on the field.
The VIP.
But yeah, that was pretty mad. Yeah, I remember the game because they was beating us for the full 60 minutes from like 20 points, and then the last 20 they just Catalans catch them up and kick the goal at the end, at the very end. Yeah,
it was a mad game that. So you come into the system, you're in and around it. Did you play any games in 2020 or?
So I made my debut in 2021. So I signed 2.5 years because that was just after COVID. So the year was split.
Half. Then
so I did that year without playing, just first experience. And then the second year I did 3 games, played 3 games. And then the year after I played 7. And then after that I went to England.
And in that first year when you say you don't play, so for anyone that like doesn't know, as a professional athlete at that point, you've got to be playing games, haven't you? So did you just... did they send you somewhere?
They've got the first team and they've got a reserve team who's playing in French comp.
Right.
So I'll say good teams from that comp will compete against mid-table championship.
Right, yeah.
It's not like reserve. So if over here you play in reserve, it's not great because you're not going to get like great opposition. But in Catalans, if you go to reserve, you're still going to get something out of it.
Yeah.
It's
so
not
you
the
think
best.
Is that the French one, elite one? Is it? Yeah.
So now it's called Super 13.
Right. So
they changed the name.
We were talking about this before because Maloney went and played. Is the same one? Hurrell's there. Where's Hurrell gone then? Is that who's like? Is it normally a team that wins that particular league? Or
a few years ago there was. Now it's Albi and Carcassonne. Both clubs are the biggest at the moment.
Right. It seems like, to me, when I hear about it, it seems like it's a strong competition where it just obviously doesn't get any sort of like footage over here, does it? Like
there's a lot of it on YouTube, so you can watch most games. But again, it's just not publicised, so people don't know that you can watch it. But they stream a lot of the games live.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, isn't it? Because as you say, the reserves over here. Whilst you mentioned that, what are your thoughts on obviously the reserves here, like, and the system that's... We've obviously got the scholarship, the academy, and then you've got the bridge between academy and first team is that reserves competition, which seems to be a mix of some random players, some academy, and some first team. Like, does it work? What are your thoughts on that?
So it works pretty good because I started playing in that comp when I was 18.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like you put a kid 18 years old now to championship, so it's good to learn. But I think if you don't make first team the first like 1, 2, 3 years, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, probably find your way
it's
back.
It's good to learn when your body is not like maturized yet. It's good to go and learn the game and learn how strong you can be.
And I suppose it's like men in that competition, isn't it?
They are.
More often than not. How does that compare to the reserves in Super League then?
I only play one reserve game in Super League, so it's hard to compare. But
what was that? Can you remember it?
I got concussion, so it was pretty...
No, you can't remember it.
It was against Salford, and it wasn't the best experience because...
Where were you at this point? Were you at
Wakefield, yeah. Because I think when you're first team playing going down, you got two ways to go after it. It's just saying, okay, I'm here, I'm going to show that's not my place, or just... I want to go home. You get what I mean? And I was between these two, and I think because you're playing with not like... I don't want to...
Yeah, you don't want to be disrespectful to the players playing it, but...
Great player to play against and playing with. You need to go down a bit. Yeah. You can't really help. So it wasn't a great experience. But at some point you need to go there because that happened to everyone when you come back from an injury or... You're not playing well and the coach send you there, you have to do it.
Do you find that do some players, you don't have to say names, but do some players refuse to play reserves?
Oh, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, I never heard someone of my team does, but I know some player will say, maybe not saying, "Oh, I'm not playing," but they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm a bit tired from my calf or something like this."
Hamstrings a bit sore.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Sort of thing, yeah. It's interesting. Obviously, the competition. I think, they go back and forth with it, don't they? They put the reserves in. Then there were the 19s competition, 16s academy. It seems to just go around, and we never seem to get to a point in the English Rugby League game where, like, at the minute, has every team even got a reserves? Like, it looks to me like some just don't even have them.
We were talking earlier, weren't we, about how when you have something that works in Rugby League, we seem to never replicate it again as a sport in general. And there was years ago when I first started watching Rugby League, and you'd go to Leeds and you'd watch an A-team game and then a first team game.
I remember. Yeah.
And it'd be class. It'd be a good day out. You'd get there at 5:30, either watch the juniors or watch the reserves, watch the A-team, and then watch the first team game. But then you'd follow them players coming through as a fan. And I just think at the minute, no one knows when reserve games are being played. We play that many games at football stadiums that teams can't do it. So Wigan won't be able to do it. Huddersfield certainly won't be allowed to do it now. So I just think we've gone away from that element of what brought us all towards Rugby League and making it a full day out. And we're trying to manufacture stuff now. And as a sport, we could possibly go back to 18 or under 19s, 18 first team, and make it so that it's a full day out and people can go and watch.
I think my only thing with it is you look at the competition as a whole, and I think the reserves kind of looks like it doesn't work at the minute because you haven't got the calibre. It's like that at one point I think Cass were pulling players off the street to go play reserves. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, and there's obviously not that, especially now there's 14 teams, that there doesn't look to be that pool of players now that.
Well, a couple of years ago, both Hull teams merged.
City Hull, I remember that. Yeah.
So, is there a way for talking about mergers? Is there a way for Wakefield, Castleford to pull their
a Wakefield district team of some kind? It'd make more sense to me because I've seen a lot of lads that have gone from Castleford Lock Lane, which is like the amateur club. I don't know if you're familiar with them over here. They produce players year in, year out that go on to scholarships and academies. And half of the ones that have just left the under 14s, well, they'll still be at Castle Lane, but they're on the scholarship at Huddersfield. Well, to me, why are children from Castleford coming to Huddersfield when Castleford Tigers are there? It just says to me that something's...
What's the attraction to Huddersfield?
What do you mean?
Why do people come from Castleford to Huddersfield?
I don't know.
Is it the training facilities?
No, it's not really yet, so that's not the case. Because they're building a new facility there, and it looks class, but it's not ready yet. So,
do they know when that's? Have you, as players, are you told when that's likely to be? Or
it was meant to be a few weeks ago, but I think it's keep pushing back.
Yeah.
Because it's how it is when you're trying to make things happen. It takes time. But it looks good. Honestly, it looks good. And because we training in Londale, I don't know if it's like a town or something, but that's the place how it's called.
How far are you from the ground and stuff then? Are you?
From my place, I'm like 15-20 minutes from that.
Yeah.
But it's on the north of Huddersfield, and they're building that facility where you got the gym, the wrestle, and all the stuff you need in the club. But we train in, so we do field session there, and we do gym somewhere else. So we have to travel from
moving around, isn't it?
From field to somewhere else.
I suppose you'll have been used to that at Wakefield because they do a bit of that still, don't they? As well, where they're still going. Did you ever go to Hemsworth?
Oh yeah, true. I forgot about that. Yeah, because we do pre-season in Hemsworth.
That's right. Yeah.
And then go back to the club after when you're done your field session. But during the season, we used to train at the ground, so everything was at the ground.
Yeah.
But pre-season was at Hemsworth. Yeah.
That's another one as well, because when you see teams do the God, like the unopposed session just before the game, what day before, captain's run.
Yeah.
I can imagine you don't do that at the stadium, do you?
No, we using
Just it may not be an issue, to be fair, but you sort of look at it sometimes, and I know a lot of the clubs seem to do their captain's run within the stadium. Maybe it's just preference of the coach or whatever, but I think when things start to really get the ball rolling at Huddersfield, it should be a force to be reckoned with. Like, there's the money there, obviously. Tell us about, have you had much to do with Ken Davey, or is
so
it?
Yeah, I had a feed with him. He invited pretty much everyone from the first team to have a feed with him.
Was this like pre-season, just before?
So yeah, that was during pre-season. We was four of us with him. So we had feed with him and just talking with him. Because I was the new guy. I don't know anyone at the club, so it was good to know him. But yeah, he's doing everything he can to help the club to move forward.
I'm going to say, people only ever speak fondly, without even knowing him. You probably can sort of see the type of guy he is by what he's done for Huddersfield over the years, and he deserves something good, doesn't he? So, like I say, hopefully, after obviously that win at the weekend, which we'll come on to, but obviously much needed when. Obviously, sadly, Robbo got the sack just before that. Just talk to us a bit about how that move came about. We're kind of fast forwarding a little bit now in your career, but how did the move to Huddersfield come about? And kind of, I know Ricky's kind of joked with what brings people to Huddersfield, but why Huddersfield? Were there any other kind of offers anywhere else, or?
So I only had 10 Super League games with Catalans, but that was not really proper games. It was more like 15-20 minutes. So I didn't have the exposures I wanted at the time. So I went to Featherstone in Championship to get something better after that. And then Wakefield came down with the project to build into that. So I said, okay, I'm going to do a second year in Champ. And then last year, that was my first year, proper year in Super League. And it was quite hard at some point because Wakefield, like you can see now, they're building something with a team and with the club, everything's going around. So it was quite hard for me to find my spot in the team, but I played like 18, 17 games. So I end up have a bit of game time. But Wakefield decided to not keep me. And I think it wasn't the best for me as well to stay in that environment because I need game time and be important for the team.
Can I ask how that comes about? Is it the coach has a conversation with you? Are you sort of feeling that way? So you ask them what's that? So obviously the short-term contracts out there a lot of the time, and still, as let's be honest, you've got bills to pay and all the rest of it. You need to know what's happening next year, the year after. How does it come about? Well, like, what do you do with it?
So it was because your contract start in December till November. So it was after pre-season I wasn't playing, so I knew you kind of know when you're a player.
This is last year then.
Yeah, it was last year at Wakefield. I wasn't playing, so I knew I don't know what's going to happen for me.
Yeah.
And I start playing, and I start playing well. So my agent said, "Oh, something might happen with them. They might want to keep you."
Yeah.
And all the signs was going on that way because the staff, coaching staff, and everyone was happy with me with what I was doing. But then in my mind, I was pretty clear I need to move.
Yeah.
Because they're going to build into that, and I'm not sure where I will be into that team. So I need to go somewhere else where I'll be important, so I can show what I can do. So that was my plan and also their plan.
Yeah.
And just end up...
So it's almost mutual.
End up well with each other because they not really say, "Oh, we don't want you because we don't like you or we're not happy with you." They just said, "We like you. We're just going with someone else or something else."
Yeah. Do you start looking around then at sort of other players that play your position and thinking, well, there's him there and there's him there, and they're talking about signing this guy, and there's the kid in the academy that's coming. As players, do you start doing that? You know, as you say, as a contract's kind of coming to an end, do you start looking around at those players?
I think most players does. I do sometimes, but it's not like a proper thing. I'm just focused on me. Because if I'm doing the things well, no one's gonna take my spot or anything like that. So I'm not worried about the others. But yeah, you still need to look at if I'm on the bench and he's starting, I'm going to look at what he's doing and I'm going to try to do it better. And yeah, if you end a contract and you want to go somewhere else and you know one of the guy at your position is going somewhere else, you can say, oh, maybe. But that's the talk you need to have with your agent and that.
What attracted you to the Huddersfield project then?
So I knew Huddersfield wasn't in the good dynamic the past couple of years, so I thought, that's perfect suiting me to go there and try to change the dynamic, because I don't have a big name and I just need to prove what I can do. So I thought that will be the perfect fit and environment for me to go and prove as a club we can do better and turn things right, and me as a player show I can play in that league and be good.
And those conversations when you start having conversations with Huddersfield, is that Luke Robinson? Is it the chief executive? Is it?
So I had the meet. So Huddersfield was interested in a few players in a few positions in my position in the middle. So I had a meeting with Andy Kelly. I think he's head of rugby. And Luke Robinson, because they just want to know how you are as a person, how you are as a player, etc. before moving forward. So I had the meeting with them and that was pretty clear. It was the right fit at the time. I had a few other interests, but I thought that'll be the good match. And I know it's difficult to say right now, but I think we need to look longer term. So yeah, we'll see if I make the right call.
So when you say obviously you had the interest coming through from elsewhere, were some of them opportunities to go back into the? I know you mentioned Featherstone, which I'll come on to in a moment, but were some kind of clubs in the Championship kind of interested as well? And was that ever a viable option, or was that a case of no, I'm staying in the Super League and I'm proving myself here?
The thing is at the time I was talking to Huddersfield, we didn't know who was gonna go up.
Yeah.
Because there was talk around London, Bradford, York, Toulouse, and it's only 3 spots for 4 teams.
Yeah.
So I think it was London and Bradford who was not really interested, but talking like basic stuff. But we didn't know who was gonna go up. So as a person and as a player, you need to be fixed as soon as you can. And Huddersfield were there, and I also thought it was the perfect match at the time. So yeah, it was Huddersfield, and then a few weeks later we find out London was still down and Bradford came up.
Yeah, so like you say,
Bradford had to build a squad on that after.
Well, they had 2 months to build a squad, if that. Yeah.
So at the time I thought that would be the right fit with Huddersfield.
So how long you got left at Huddersfield? What were the contracts signed
a year.
Just a year contract. Yeah. So am I right in thinking, is it like June you can start exploring? Oh, so it's literally already.
So you can start talking to club and sign somewhere else right now. Yeah, that's it. I think this is the first one that comes to my mind. Camp Smith is at Leeds. Yeah. And he already signed
at Wakefield.
Wakefield. It was in January when it comes out.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It's strange, what is it?
You not even start the season and you sign for someone else the next year.
The problem what happens there, I mean, it kind of stops any unsettlement, if you like, but also you can't help but feel like when fans' frustration, if that player starts to play particularly bad at some point, it's like, he's thinking about next year and he isn't bothered.
Cam's captain of Leeds as well.
They took it off him, didn't they? I think they took it off him. Yeah.
Last year. I
think. He was though. Yeah, he started well though this year, I think. But that were his brother at Wake. He were at Giants as well. Actually, his brother. That's right. Yeah. And coming back to Fev, I feel like we can't ignore the Featherstone part of your career and your journey. How many games did you play for Fev, or roughly?
Something around 20, 25.
All right, yeah. So, was that across just one season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
the championship was bigger. Was
Yeah.
like 16 club at the time, I think.
they had. They definitely had.
14 club.
Yeah.
14 club, and we played the 1895 and
That's right, yeah.
the playoff. Sorry,
Yeah. So was that the year when
we lost against
London?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that were it? Yeah.
Semi-final.
You shouldn't have lost that game, should you?
If you played that game 10 times, we win in 9 times, I reckon.
Yeah.
And that was the one we lost.
But
But they had a good team.
It was a strange one, wasn't it? Because you'd sort of gone through the season. So James Ford with the coach then, or was Sean Long the coach?
Sean Long bring me, because I knew him from France. He was assistant with France
Yeah, the national team.
national team. So he bring me over, and then I think we lost 2 games in a row or something like that, and they got rid of him.
Yeah,
And
I
then
remember
James
that.
Way through the season.
And then James Ford came in.
Yeah.
So he was appointed at the start of head of rugby,
Yeah.
and then Longy got sacked, and he took the job from there.
I remember that with Longy, and I was thinking
It seemed really strange. Didn't it?
that
From the
just
outside
doesn't
looking
seem right. It seemed really odd, didn't it, that he sort of left? Because you sort of think, well, had he been still there, would you have possible? It's ifs and maybes and buts, isn't it? You know, to what could have happened from that one. But how do you look back on your time at Featherstone? They've had some really up and down sort of periods. That obviously long ago they were in the first division competing with having some great players in their team, and kind of they found themselves in the championship and just never been able to get themselves up. Obviously they got the year when they played Toronto, well, that the year before maybe, or a couple of years before that, played Toronto over in Toronto, or was it London in Toronto?
London beat Toronto, didn't they?
Fev went over there and played,
Yeah.
so maybe Toronto beat Fev, and that's when Toronto went up. Fev definitely played away in the final against Toronto, but
They played Toulouse at Toulouse one day.
yeah,
Toulouse
we did
went up.
yeah. So I think they've been close, and the funny thing with Featherstone is they've won the championship on multiple occasions,
Yeah.
but when there's been no promotion,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's difficult. Obviously, difficult times for them, and I'm sure they're on their way to sorting out whatever they need to sort out. And I wouldn't be shocked if they're back again next season doing. I don't know whether they have to rebrand or what, but similar to Salford and whatnot, I'm sure they'll do the same kind of thing. But how do you look back? Do you look back on it fondly, or?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I think the fans. I think we did like pretty much 5,000 crowds every home game, sometimes more when it was a big game. So it was really something in the town and with the club. So I was really disappointed to not go up with them, because that was the plan. Because when I signed there, that was between them and Toulouse, and I said no, I'm gonna go there because they've got more chance to go up. Because my plan was to go back to Super League the quickest as I can. So yeah, at the time I was really disappointed, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. But then I ended up my good year with Fev. I ended up getting the contract with Wakefield.
If you'd have gone to Toulouse, would you have got your mum and dad to move again?
No, I'm a grown man now, so I can move by myself.
So I suppose what we like to do on is kind of go into what it's really like as a professional athlete, if you like. So obviously you're at Giants now, and you know you're on the back of a really good win last weekend. Obviously going into this weekend, I'm sure the morale and everything's up in the club compared to what it was a couple of weeks ago. As players, are you looking at when you're losing a game, then you lose the next game, you lose the next game? What's it like, you know, day to day? So when you're coming back in on that Monday, or you might be in on the Sunday, for instance, if it's a Friday game or Saturday, whatever, but what's it like compared to pre-season? And as we know, everyone has the best pre-season ever. What is it like 4 or 5 games in when you've not won a game? And do you feel the pressure as players, or?
Not really, because I think we deal pretty well with the group this last couple of weeks, Because like you said, in pre-season, everyone's saying, "No, it's the greatest pre-season ever." Blah blah blah.
Where has been your best pre-season ever?
It was because
This year.
2 weeks before first round, we lost few players, and then round one we lost other players. Round two, other players. So we end up in a bad circle, if you call it like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not great when you lose in, week out. It's not great because especially with last year, they had a bad year.
Yeah.
Or tough year, not a bad year, but a tough year. But yeah, we deal pretty well with each other. We stick with each other. We stayed positive because I think the basic were there. It was just not happening at the time because yes, you got injuries, you got boys injured or whatever. You can find loads of excuses. But at the time when we was playing, we lost because we was doing the basics but not good enough.
Yeah.
We was working hard but wasn't good enough.
Was it just like little things weren't sticking, if you like? So it was almost you don't get the rubber, you don't get the bounce of the ball. You seem to on the back foot all the time. Is it just when things are going bad, they go sometimes bad to worse, don't they? But it's really strange because you're not telling me by sacking Luke Robinson that's what won you. So something's obviously just clicked against Wigan, but the weird thing was it wasn't just you just scraped a victory. Like Giants looked convincingly better than Wigan did.
They didn't look like they were going to lose, did they?
It was just so. I'm sure you won't be offended by me sort of saying that if you're on the bus on the way to Wigan, you're on the back of quite a few. Well, a fair few defeats. What, six in that round seven? So would it have been six plus the Challenge Cup?
Yeah.
So like 6 defeats on the bounce, 6-7 maybe on the bounce at that point, and then you're on the bus to Wigan, and we spoke about this with Isaac Shaw, didn't we? And sort of said like when you're losing week after week, the worst place sometimes you want to go is Wigan, or is it one of them in your head where you're thinking we have to be on our game here? So. Talk to us about that bus trip to Wigan. Are you boys going into that game thinking, "Now we'll win this week"?
I think the Robo's been sacked changed a little bit the things because I don't know. I'm not going to talk for everyone else, but personally, I took it a bit personal, saying, "Okay, I'm not good enough as an individual, so we're not good enough as a team, so we don't win." So he got sacked.
Yeah,
and he was a bit unfair.
Do you think it was unfair? Given he had last season as well, obviously, and
I don't know. It's not my role to talk about that, but for me, it is because he's been dealing with tough times.
Yeah.
When he can't do anything about it, when players dropping out, it's not his fault. It's just we're just human and we get injured. Yeah. So it was pretty tough to go through that. So I think everyone saying, okay. I think he got sacked because of me. So,
as players, you take that accountability of...
We didn't say it to each other.
No, so it's not like... That's what I'm thinking. Are you boys sort of all together and you sat around a room and saying, look, this has happened because of us? Or is it just a case of, I think everyone thinks it, so we're just going to all... Let's get our heads down. Let's give 100%. Let's put this right.
So Andy Kelly came in the morning after the Bradford lost.
Yeah. So that was the Saturday morning then, was it? Or whenever afterwards?
Was the Monday. So we played the Friday night. Robo told us on the Sunday. And then on the Monday, Andy Kelly came and talked to us. And then after that, so Liam Finn and Leroy Cozza took the job. I'm saying the job.
Like the interim period.
Exactly. But they are the assistant of Robo, so they just keep going with what they've been doing. So everyone was saying, okay, something needs to change right now.
Yeah.
And I think we did against Wigan. I think it was top of the league, and everyone was saying... Well,
they've not lost a game.
Everyone was saying they're dominant in every game they played. Yeah. And even me, when I was watching Wigan, I was like, oh...
This is what we sort of look at it and think...
I think I watched them against FC.
But it helps when you get a full back in half.
That FC game.
Well, yeah.
First half, I've watched it and I say... I don't want to be in that field.
Yeah.
But yeah, when the game comes, like last week, I'm not thinking of that. I just want to be in the field and do my best. And if I do my best and my mate's doing the best,
Yeah.
and then maybe we can have a crack.
Well, you got a few bodies back, didn't you? Obviously for that game, and can you give us an insight into? Obviously, you get to the ground, you probably see, their boys doing their usual thing, as they, they've also got like a decent fan base as well. Probably, not saying it. Is it a hostile place? I don't know. Is Wigan a hostile place to play? Or I always see it as like the football stadiums never seem as hostile, whereas you go to like Wakefield, Cass, these sort of places, and they can almost spit at you from the side of the field if they wanted to. These kind of stadiums, Featherstone as well. You're in the changing room. Who's doing the talking? Like, obviously you got some big name like Clune came back, didn't he? Who's doing the talking in the changing room?
Yeah, Clooney's the captain, so he's taking ownership of that. But I'm playing middle, so Clooney is good to talk in general about how we need to go out there.
Yeah.
But you work as an edge and unit, so you got small chat with each other as with middles, and then edges got the same with each other. So yeah, in the middle, I think that's why we was doing wrong. We was working hard, but not really as a unit with each other. So we started to find that last week, get a bit of connection with each other. And
how do you get that then? I'm just interested. Like, how does that come about?
I think it's just reps, and it's just reps, because we start the season saying, okay, we're gonna be a team who works hard, we'll do that, and we didn't.
Yeah.
So we lost everything. We wasn't doing everything we said we was gonna do, so we was in a back circle of negativity a little bit.
Yeah.
So Robbo got sacked, and we say, okay, it's like we start from zero now.
Yeah.
And then it comes like naturally.
Did you find the pressure? I'm not saying there was pressure, but did you find the pressure was off going into that Wigan game? As in, you could play a little bit more free. What does Liam Finn say? Like, how does he do? Did he do much of the talking? I've actually heard really good things from when he used to do. He was at Wakefield, did like the academy stuff there, I think. So I've actually heard really good things about him in the past. To be fair, about him and his coaching, but does he say much, or is it a case of he doesn't really need to say too much going into that game?
Yeah, he did pretty much the game plan, but Leroy, just before the game, after captain's run, when everything was done, we had a pretty good week, and he just say, not pressure, everyone thinks we're shy, it's just us, we need to show we're not.
Yeah.
And it's true, because you lost 5 games in a row, and with big margins sometimes. So yeah, it's easy to go on social and say, oh, they need to go somewhere else, they need to go back to champ, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But they don't know what's happening in training and in the group. So yeah, the best thing we can do is just go out there and prove them wrong.
Definitely. Did you sort of going into that game? Do you feel they underestimated you a little bit?
I think so, yeah. So it's hard to say, but I think when you're playing against a team who was struggling like us, you say to yourself, oh, it's going to be easy, but it's never easy. You always need to do the basic, and we wanted more that time than them.
At what point in that game did you think we're winning this? Like, obviously you go ahead, but then is there a point in the game where you think we've got these today? I don't think they're not coming back from this.
So I was on the bench, and I said, oh, okay, we start well, but the problem with us, you could see some part where we was really good and some part we wasn't really good. So we can have a 20-minute game where we was outstanding, and then the 60 others we was. Yeah,
you were saying this before, weren't you, about us the Giants looking like at times where like they could actually play, and then at times you almost looked fatigued at sometimes as well. But
exactly, so we wasn't doing that for a full game. So I was in the bench saying, oh, we start well, okay, we on. And I was thinking, okay, is it gonna stay or not? And then he stayed, and bench come in, and we keep going with that, and then we end up full time winning by 20, I think.
When you're on the bench and you've had such a good start, what pressure is on you to to come on and continue that?
I think it's easier. So if the starters start well, and you go in, you just need to keep going with what they've done. So it's easier when the teams go well. You go in and you just catch the rhythm, and you start and try to add your game to the team. But when you're struggling and you're on the back foot, it's where it's hard, because you want to come in and try to help and change the game, but you can't solve problem by yourself.
No. Just on that, I was just going to say, do you watch much of the other rugby matches sort of across the weekend?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
I'm a rugby nerd.
Rugby nerd. Yeah.
I'm watching NRL, Super League.
Yeah.
It's almost like he got his parents to move.
I've got pressure from my mum and dad. Yeah. I need to.
The reason I asked, I was going to say, you mentioned there about how hard it is for a middle to come on, for example, or anyone when you're on the back foot. I don't know if you saw the Saints Hull KR last week on Friday, and it was like, I don't think Saints got in the Hull KR half for the whole, or until like right at the very end of the first half. So if a middle's coming on, and you're sort of like expecting that immediate impact, you've got 4 or 5 blokes stood in front of you ready to rip your head off. Is it just a case of bite down on the gum shield and try to get a quick ruck, try to get a penalty, and what, like Ricky says, what are you looking to do there? You're on your own 10 metre line, your backs are not managing to get anywhere, so you're giving ball on third tackle. Well, I'll ask you, what are you thinking at that point? You're on your own 10 metre line, you're on tackle 3, and you've got 12 blokes in front, but they've listed an ABC on both sides. Yeah. So you've got your ABC and 2 markers about to rip your head off. What are you thinking?
Sometimes you need to put your brain away. And you just need to take it and throw it away just for 5 seconds. But yeah, what you mentioned about staying in our own goal line, round 1 in Catalans, that's exactly what they've done to us. They keep us in our 40 for the whole game pretty much.
It was shocking, the weather on that, wasn't
it?
Yeah, I remember turning it on and thinking they're like sliding over and there were the water splashing up everywhere, but you didn't look too far away in that game. I remember saying to you, I'd watched the game and I thought you didn't look too far away, but yeah, they just seemed the conditions were terrible. The ball, no one could hardly throw the ball in that game.
The stats was we had like 2 sets in their own like 20 and they've got like 12, so it tells you they put us under pressure. We still worked hard and try your best to get things round, but in rugby league, if you get position, so if you got the ball with you,
possession of the ball,
and the territory, so if you spending more time in their half than yours, you win
likely
the game.
To win,
It's very rare.
Yeah.
The opposition will win being dominated by possession in territory. It's rare.
Yeah. I'm going to say, it's not like your football, is it, where it can sometimes finish 1-0 to the other team, even though they've had 40 shots on target in the other team.
Exactly.
What are your thoughts on, especially probably as a middle, the rule changes, the more 6 again? Obviously, you're smiling at that, so I'm presuming it's probably not great at the minute. But can I ask, do you find it's having? Do you think it's impact? Do you think it's causing some of these injuries? The way the game's happening now, the pace that it's running at. Do you think it's potentially resulting in some of these injuries?
I don't know. I don't think so, because we are professional. We've been prepared through the pre-season to these rules. But yeah, as a middle, it's hard. But it's good because sometimes it was too slow at some point the years before. So they really want to speed up the game and to get like more entertained about it, more like line breaks, more tries, etc., which is good. I think we all got GPS and it's already, I've been talking about it with the SNC, and from last year average, from the first couple of rounds, it's already 10 meters more than last year average, from the average of this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really going quicker, but yeah, it's more, I feel more tired.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The opposite thing is I feel more tired, but it's good. You just need to adapt to it. But I always been a middle who was fit and can move. So it's not really. It does affect me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not as much struggling than another middle who's who's got a bigger body.
Yeah. So someone who talked about someone that's a bigger body, well, a big boy at Huddersfield, Tom Burgess.
Yeah.
What's it like playing with Tom Burgess? Because obviously he seems a bit of a character. He's gone over to Giants, and I don't know, from the outside looking in, and maybe from his own standards, it probably wasn't a great season. I know he was playing in a relatively poor team last season, but I don't know. I think Giants fans probably expected a lot for him, and he can't do it all by himself. But talk to us a little bit about him. Obviously, he's great NRL career, and he's come over here, and I'm sure he's not ruled himself out of getting back in the England team. So, what's it like to play with Tom Burgess?
Oh, it's great. He's a great person to be around. First day in Huddersfield, he talked to me in French straight away because his mom, she's a French teacher in Australia, so we've got a few French.
Right.
So I get in on with him pretty well. But he's a good person. In the group, he's good with everyone, and he's a big name of the sport. He's got a great career, but his brother's got the same.
Is he a leader? Is he a talker? So when we spoke about the sort of the dressing room thing,
I think he talked about himself because he's got a massive experience with. I think he's done 250.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
I think so. I'm not
obviously
sure.
won the NRL. Yeah.
He's been around for a while with top end players, teams, and competition. So he knows rugby, and I just think he came into an environment where it was pretty tough at the time, and everyone was thinking, he's going to save us.
Save us, yeah.
But no, it's just that's why we're playing at 13 players, and not just one. You can make a difference in the team, but you can't save the team. It needs to be a team thing and not just one out.
Definitely, yeah. He obviously came over as, like you say, the big name, and kind of sometimes you have expectations, don't you, that he's going to be a great guy, great leader, can do all these things and every trick in the book as a great middle. Who's someone that's kind of surprised you at Huddersfield? When you've been, I don't know, what you might have played against them before and didn't know they were as good as maybe what you thought they were, or maybe someone that you've not seen before and kind of they've sort of surprised you a little bit.
To be honest, I was pretty surprised with everyone because when I signed to Huddersfield and I had the look of last year from an outside guy, I was playing at Wakefield, so against them, and I think we pumped them a few times.
So you thought they were rubbish, basically.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go there, and I'm a number guy, but it's easy to think, I'm going to be the best. And when you arrive at training, you see everyone like training hard and not as bad than they look when they was playing. So I knew there's a team there. Yeah. It's just the dynamics need to change and be a bit lucky to get some result, and be lucky to not having 13 or 14 injuries in the same time. Because that's why we had the past couple of weeks. We couldn't put a team out. Yeah. We had to put young lads who wasn't really ready for it. And
so that the cup one or the week after the cup.
We had the three lads. So it's if one young lad comes into the team when the team is like good,
then that's great.
It's great. It's easy to come, but these three lads came in when we was from bottom playing KR in the Challenge Cup, and they just need to go there and try the best, which they did. They did pretty well.
What about the lads from Leeds? Obviously came across. They played the Bradford game. Was it Bradford game? Yeah. The three lads, I was quite surprised that they went, especially Presley, the middle. Yeah. And obviously they had, can't remember, they were McCormack. Was he a centre or and Lum on the wing? Yeah. It was like one game, so a cameo, and then. But they just so do they just come in training like on the Monday and it's like right get to work and games on Friday, or how do you boys that have, like you say, you're a bit, I'm not saying down in the dumps, you've lost a fair few games, you feel like potentially the pressure might be mounting a little bit, or it's a must-win game. You're gonna say you must have gone into the Bradford game thinking we have to win this, but like do you take the boys in straight away, or is it just the drop in like the? You obviously may have played against him, you may have not, or I just find it like quite odd. that, like, do you know, like if we were just in our day jobs and someone just rocked in? I know you have like supply teachers and stuff, so it's not too odd to have a supply teacher in, but you know, if like your work, someone come on loan for like a week from a different company. No, he does fun employed, this lad. If you were doing that though and someone just came for a week, like you almost don't even have enough time to get the rapport with them and, you know, get to know them and all that sort of stuff. So is it just a come in, give it a go, lads, and yeah, I don't even know. You probably won't know every rugby league. Well, you might as a rugby league nerd, but some players who might not be bothered about rugby league might not even know them lads. Yeah. So are you going into games sometimes not even knowing their names? I'm not saying you personally, but is it like, hey mate, go chase this kick?
No, but to be fair, when I was in championship, I played because I knew everyone, but I played against some guys I didn't know about because they've always been in championship, and I never watched championship because you can't really watch it. And I was in France, so I didn't have a clue of what's going on.
We can't even really watch it here, can we, to be fair?
Yeah, but you kind of know what's happening, like results and that.
Yeah, and you know the players that have kind of dropped down into there, or if someone's playing well, like when George Flanagan were sort of like going around for Bradford at that time, you knew about him, didn't you, just because of the odd highlight that was coming up in places. It's just a strange one that I always think for a player, so Saints have took the two lads from Hull KR, and I think like going into the Wigan derby, and the reason I were asking you about that is obviously there's some big games this weekend, and there's Saints going in on seems what would be the back foot in this one. Their team looks well sort of disseminated from what it has been or should have been at the start of the year. They look like they're in a similar position to you guys really, but somehow just scraped some wins and managed to stay in the cup. But I just found that if you've got lads that are coming into the team and say it were for a month or a year, you probably know they're coming in. Did you know them boys were coming in for a week or?
No. So I saw them. So I came in the morning and I saw them sat in the couch. So I was like, oh, there's some loanies, because we call them loanies.
Loanies, yeah.
So it's hard because I'm not going to say it affects me because I was still in the team. Yeah. But if I'm being dropped for one of these lads, you can be not mad but disappointed about it. But we are professionals, so we just need to deal with these things. And they had like 2 sessions with us, one full training and one captain's run, and played on a Friday. But they're good young kids. Like they arrive with a smile, trying to add something because they know the situation we was in. And we was expecting to win. We was going to Bradford to win because Bradford was kind of in difficult situation with injuries as well. But that didn't happen again.
I was surprised you lost that game. To be fair, looking at it, we watched part of it, didn't we? And
what's it like to play at Bradford? On a enclosed pitch?
You just talking about rugby or everything?
No, just the rugby.
Okay, just
on the
rugby.
field.
Quite hard. Quite hard. It's tight, but everyone knows it. We train with so we had the field at Londale, and they put cones in to replicate that field to get used to it. So there's no excuse to say, we lost it because of this. Yeah. There's no excuse. It's just different, and I think that game, 20 minutes to go, we was in front. Yeah. But like I said, we didn't do the things in the full game. And Bradford, honestly, credit to them with the squad they've got. They're doing pretty well, And they're spreading ball around. They're playing expensive footy. I'm talking like a Aussie. Expensive rugby.
As a Frenchman coming over here and playing in Super League and Championship, how have you been received? Do you feel like you're welcomed into teams?
Yeah, I think if I wasn't really feeling good around the UK or the teams, I wouldn't stay that long. It's end of 2022, so more than pretty much 4 years now, and I can stay a bit more. I'm not gonna say I need to go home right now. So yeah, I think it's just the culture and the mentality of. I'm saying English, but I can be American or just English people who speak English. It's just a culture thing to be really welcoming. French people are kind of rude and close to newcomers. I think it's just a French thing, and over here it's pretty good. Every time you go into the shop or wherever you go, someone have a nice word for you, like saying honey or how are you, love.
Yeah.
It kind of gets you. The woman who said that to me don't knows me at all, and she said that, so it's just about making feel comfortable.
Yeah.
People.
And you feel that over here then? When,
oh yeah.
Had you been to England before?
Yeah, I was travelling for rugby, but I've never been really
like living over here.
I had an experience in Leeds when I was 16, because my dad is quite close with Leeds Kidman.
Right.
So they saw out something for me to just experience it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. And from there, I knew that might be an option in the future. I don't know when.
Did you do any rugby when you came over then, or was it just a case of just coming over?
I played a game with under 16.
All right, okay,
That was just a one out, and that's it.
In that week that you spent with Leeds, did you learn more French than your dad picked up in 18 years coming over?
Yeah, still don't have a clue of what's going on. He's been like working for 2007 till 2023. I honestly don't know, but he can't speak at all. He can't understand at all. He can't do anything. It's crazy because if I put him somewhere in England, he will be alright. I don't know how. I don't know
how. Find a way.
Yeah, he will find a way. So I think it was.
For English.
We played York once with Fev, and he knew your coach. I can't remember who he was at the time.
Andrew Anderson.
Yeah, was him, and I don't know how he knew him, and he came to him, and he was talking, and I was next to him, and they was just talking, and he said, "Oh, when I'm done, just like translate to him." So he went to do his thing, and I stayed with my dad, and I said to my dad, "Oh, he said that," and said, "Yeah, I know, I understand everything." Yeah.
How did your English get so good then? Were you doing it from a young age, or were you made to do it in school?
We do it at school. But it's just the basics.
When you say the basics, like, I mean, I'm a teacher, and the children from as young as like year 3, 4, which is like 7 and 8 year old, up to 10, 11, and then into high school. They do it more in high school, but ours is kind of like 1 hour once a week of French or Spanish. But then when you go to high school, it might be, say, 2 hours, and then if you continue to do it for your qualifications in high school, might be like 2 or 3 hours a week. Does English over there, is it more than that a week, or?
It's depend on your thing. When you're studying in France, you can choose your subjects.
Yeah, same here.
And you can go in different area. You can go just like mathematics and physics, and not at all language.
No language, yeah.
Or go somewhere else. And I went to, I can't remember what it's called, but whatever. I did 3 or 4 years of language, Spanish and English, for like 3 years. So I had decent basics, and then I moved to Leeds when I was 16. At that time I was learning the basics, and that really helps to got like a strong base. And then with Catalans, everyone's speaking English, so you just keep
learning throughout the year.
And then I moved, and I picked up the Yorkshire accent.
Yeah, the best fun, that's what it's about. I suppose just kind of moving, sort of looking at the future then, do you have any aspirations to go back to Catalan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would that be, do you like people talk over here, generally talk about the NRL, wanting to go over there? Is that a viable option at any point, or never say never, or is for you, would the dream be to go back to Catalan and play there?
As a player, you always want to be at the best and be the best. So yeah, of course, if the opportunity comes to play NRL, you can't really turn it down.
Yeah.
But I'm a kind of humble guy and realistic, and I don't think it's gonna happen. we never know.
Never say never,
I don't think it's gonna happen. So yeah, when I'm seeing the future, my future, I think when I was a kid, the dream was to play for Catalans. I did that, but wasn't just my dream. Was my mum and dad dream, and I moved away from them, and we got quite close. And they're really into my career, so I think I need to. I do it for me, but I also do it for them. So when Catalans said, "Oh, you're not good enough for Super League," I said, "Yeah, okay. I'm going to prove you wrong. Yeah. I'm going to go there, and you will call me back." And when I'm seeing the future, I see that happening. I don't know if it's next year, in 5 years, because I'm 26. No, I'm 25. I'm turning 26 next week. But yeah, it might be next year, 5 years. But I want to end up there at some point.
And they generally say for middles as well. I mean, some middles go on till 36, 37, 38. Like the Peacock, the best ones playing James Graham, all for longer periods. But they say for middles, they almost don't mature properly until maybe 27, 28, 29. So it's almost like you're still a very young player in that sense, aren't you, against some really experienced middles that you're playing in Super League. So I think that's pretty cool that you obviously, when you were feeling like leaving Catalan, potentially leaving feeling at the time they felt you weren't good enough, but you've never felt that. You've always felt, no, I will be good enough and I'll come back and I'll show you at some point. I
think linked into that as well, he's left and then gone on to represent his country. So there's a World Cup at the end of the year, so surely eyes are on the World Cup at the end of the year as well.
Yeah, of course. It's in Australia as well, so you want to be part of it as a player. But I need to deliver on the field to be able to get picked and to play.
Where do you think French Rugby League is at the moment? So is it prospering? Is it struggling? As in national team, France Rugby League?
As just national team, are you considering like teams like Jamaica, Wales and Ireland?
Where do you stand yourself alongside sort of them?
How many teams are in the World Cup? 9 or 10? I can't remember.
I
think it's 9.
Is it 9?
But I see, right now, I see us as 9.
Yeah.
I think we can have a crack to like Cook Island, Fiji, Lebanon.
Yeah.
But then England, Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa.
Yeah, sort of in a league.
Two way in front. I think PNG as well did pretty good. I just think as a country we miles late to everyone.
What do you think needs to change for France to catch up to those nations?
I think it's too deep. France is just a union and always been. Back in the days, like ages ago, there was a good team, but then they end up like abolished.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the story about it, but so league was at the top and union was just lower.
Yeah.
And then the war happened, and the people who got into the government abolished the league, so league wasn't allowed to play. So everyone moved to union, and from that, the sport never been the same again.
Yeah.
And like I said, the league is just a south thing. When you got Catalans and Toulouse, and we don't have the pool to do anything, we still get pretty good players to each team, as you can see playing for Toulouse and Catalans. But to be competitive as a nation compared to Australia, England, when they have a much bigger pool, is too hard.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because you sort of think, how could things change? You know, I'm thinking of all these like schools. What happens in schools? Are they playing rugby union in schools? In high school, is it rugby union, or is it in Catalan? Would they play rugby league, or how does that work?
It's different in France. We don't really play for schools,
right?
So in France,
not even in the PE in school and stuff.
No. Every sport, you just got a club in your town, and you go, and then if you go well, then you're going to turn professional. So if you playing union, the professional club will get you.
Yeah.
If you play tennis, you're good enough, so you're just going to play competition and turns
Right.
professional. So you don't have, you're just going to pick a sport. So your mum and dad comes to you saying, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Some parents say, oh, you're going to do that and
Yeah.
put you through that. But that's how France works in sports.
Well, fingers crossed for you for obviously the end of the season. Have you been to Australia before?
I did a stop to Sydney because I was going to New Zealand,
Yeah.
but I've never been like,
Actually staying and,
Yeah.
and being there, yeah. Better be class as a player, that, wouldn't it, going over there? Probably, I can imagine there's quite a lot of people wanting to obviously get in, players wanting to get in the mix for obviously the World Cup. Some quick fire questions. So we'll throw some at you. Some just can be one word answers. Some you might want to expand on. I suppose we'll start with any superstitions. So anything that you do before a game that has to be done because that's in your head what works. Whether it's wearing
You put your
socks the
brain
right
back in.
way.
I need to play with my brain because I'm not the strongest and the fastest, so I need to play with it. But no, I've got so every time we go out, I need to be last.
Right. Is that last out the tunnel or last
Yeah.
out the changing room?
So especially for warm up, so edges go first,
Yeah.
and middles will stay in just to get activated and
Yeah.
talk. And middles, I need to be last. I make sure I last. Like
Yeah.
I'm going for a late piss or
Yeah.
whatever.
Just make sure you're the last
Yeah.
one out of the room. What would be your sort of like pre-match meal? So like the night before meal. What would you have? Would it be the same one every week? So if you're playing, are you on Saturday this week?
Yeah, we play.
So what would you eat?
tomorrow?
What would you eat tomorrow night?
Pasta all the time. A massive plate of pasta. It can be bolognese.
So not a particular one, just
Yeah,
anything
just
that's
pasta. I'm
based.
carb loading because I'm not really eating through the game day, so I need to load
Yeah.
the day before, so I'm able to have fuel for me to
Yeah,
help
yeah.
in the game because I'm not really eating much during the game, even if it's a late game.
Were you at Wakefield with Isaac Shaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did he left? Last year? I can't remember.
Was it last year? He was like, he went with Salford,
Yeah,
didn't he, last
he
year?
left
yeah.
last year, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
I did the champ year with him,
Yeah.
and then last year he started the year with us, but he left. But I can't remember exactly.
he
when
went
it was.
to Hull KR for like a game or two,
And then
didn't
he went to
and then
Salford.
went to Salford from. And long story short, anyway, he told us the other week he just eats Crunchy Nut. So you know the cereal.
Yeah.
He says he just has half a box of Crunchy Nut
What, in game day?
On the
night before,
Okay.
and then he eats nothing, and then the next day he wakes up and eats the other half of the box of Crunchy Nut, and that's it. That's all he eats for it. So
Everyone is different.
it was so random because most will say, "Oh, I'm having pasta," or "It's the spaghetti bolognese." A lot say, don't they? Yeah, and his was just like a box of Crunchy Nut down from the Tesco down the road.
I think everyone is different and needs to find his thing who
Yeah.
works out the best for him, for you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about the best player you've played against? So could be a middle, could be a back, whoever really. Just someone that you play against and you think could do without him today. You hope he's
Quite hard.
got a soft string or something when you're going into the game.
But for me, because I'm not really a player who's physical,
Yeah.
I will not find someone who's physical hard or
Yeah.
the hardest opponent. That will be more someone like smart and
So could I change this question then? Who's the toughest player you've played against? Someone that's just hard as nails, and then the player that could change the game for the other team, just like that.
I think Ibaka
Right.
is physical. You don't want to carry to him. It's just too hard.
Yeah.
He's rock. He's like a rock.
Danny Richardson thinking that, didn't he? He said Danny Richardson at York now, the halfback.
Yeah.
He came on and said Pape just broke his foot, just like ran over the top of him. I think
Every time I'm getting a ball, I'm just looking the line.
he's flying out the line, isn't he?
Just to see what comes to me. And if I play Lee, I know I will
Yeah.
look at him. Because if he comes and you don't see him,
Yeah.
he's going to break you.
Then what about someone on another team that's just, well, you would say is the best player in the comp?
Yeah, just too good, yeah. I think Bevan French is one of them.
Have you You played against him a few times.
I played him last year.
What is it like when he's cutting back in? When he does that thing and he cuts back into the middle of the field.
But it's not really when you're playing against players. You're not really thinking, oh, it's too good. It's more when you watch it, and sometimes I'm watching him and you're like, oh, it's too good. He's playing with kids.
Yeah.
When he's running the ball and he's got like right foot step and he can break tackles, but he's in a good team too.
Yeah. Which helps.
Be
interesting if he dropped him in, a team that's, bottom of the league or threw him in championship.
I still think he'll go well.
Yeah.
But he looks even better with this team.
Yeah, definitely. Any quick fires, boys?
I'm gonna go. Have you watched Love Island?
No.
Right. So
I don't watch any English.
You look
TV
like someone that could be on Love Island.
No, right. So if you had to pick someone from the Giants squad that had to go on a TV dating show, who do you think would fancy it? Who thinks they're good looking and
who loves himself?
Yeah.
I'll say a name, but it's not because he's loving himself. It's because I want to see him in the show because he's gonna be funny. I think he's Kieran Rush.
All right. Yeah.
He's got some success with girls, so I think he can go and have fun. So yeah, I want to see him. Yeah.
Who's your funniest teammate?
Oh, we got a few in this team because this team is mad. Honestly, you rock up and you have a laugh straight away, and everyone's taking piss out of everyone. To pick one, I think Tanner Mild is right up there. Yeah, every time he's saying something, everyone laughing. With his accent, he's got a Fijian accent, but we've got quite a few. I'll be right up there because they're taking a piss of my accent and my.
Have you got a nickname?
Because everyone's calling.
Just cause, yeah.
It's easier.
Is it that? Do you find that people sort of like take the mick out the accent? I suppose it happens with us. Like, if you're from, can you tell the difference in the dialects, like from Yorkshire to London to Manchester?
Not
or
really.
Can you not really tell it?
Not really, because I'm not around UK people. I'm around like Yorkshire English people, but not London or Liverpool. But if I heard an American or Aussie or Kiwi, I know where they're from.
Right.
But not from England.
Right.
Because I'm not been around London, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, you sort of think, don't you, like, when you come over here? Because, I mean, how many... The other French lad had just gone to Huddersfield as well.
Tanguy, yeah.
Yeah. So do you naturally... I'm not saying like you gravitate towards each other, or is it just...
the boys are fuming when we're speaking French next to them.
What, they're like, secret conversation, is it?
Are you talking about me or what?
Yeah, so no, we're just talking about him, we'll talk about you last.
But yeah, Tanguy just arrived in November last year.
Yeah.
So he's kind of new. So I'm helping him out because his English is not as good as mine, and it's normal because I've been around for a long time and he's just arrived now.
Nice. Do you drink coffee?
No.
What do you do when you go to a coffee shop?
How can a Frenchman not drink?
If I drink coffee, I can't sleep at all.
Frenchmen won't drink coffee, won't smoke. Yeah, not French. Revoking your French nationalship.
I don't know where I'm from, but I'm not.
Well, obviously looking ahead to this weekend, you've got another tough game coming up. York have obviously started the season well, but you boys will be looking to obviously get a second win. And then that completely changes things, doesn't it? I think, can you go up to 10th, maybe, something like that? But you can creep up the table quite a few places this weekend if you manage to get a win. What's sort of like the feeling in the camp and looking ahead to this one?
I think as soon as you get the first win, everything change. Because, like I said, the bad circle about losing, you rocked up in the week and you say, it's going to be the same. But now we got that win, where no one expected against Wigan. Gets back a lot of positivity and a good dynamic, and I think York is a good challenge this week. Their team came up. They do pretty well this year, but they're still a team in the building, so we got a good opportunity to back up the win from last week with another good performance, and hopefully is the start of a good run.
Nice. Well, best of luck for Saturday, mate. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for your time. Mathieu Cozza, everyone. What a good match.
Thank you for having me. It was pretty fun.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. You're welcome anytime.
You're the first one. You're the first one to say it right on the first go.
First try.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's just your second, third, fourth.
Sometimes when I'm trying to say my name to the girls and the girls get it wrong, so I'm just like nah.
Well, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you for coming on, and I'm sure we can get you into the coffee before long anyway. Looking ahead to this weekend. Thanks again, Shay, Ricky, and our next episode will be released soon. Thanks to Nova Coffee for hosting the show as always, and if you haven't yet liked and subscribed, drop us a follow. Ricky, the followers are back up now. You've come on.
There we go.
And now you've come on this week. We might even get some more, mate. So
from France next week.
Yeah, it's going to have to be. Some. Well, Ricky, you can tell us a bit about that.
So Catalans are hosting their Wigan press conference next week over in Paris. So we'll get a little bit of content over there and speak to a few Wigan and Catalan guys.
There you have it. Some comments coming from the Wigan Catalan conference, led by Ricky next week. And keep out for all our clips on TikTok and Instagram. Cheers again. Thank you.